It's Colin and
Me, ciao. Yeah,
yep,
we're
and
back.
we're back after a little bit of a hiatus. I guess you could say we should have been here yesterday, but
Yeah,
Thiago had to do school, which he
which sucks. I know. Yeah, I hate
yeah
it too.
acts like it's a good excuse, but we'll get Tommy in here. We've got a very special guest with us today, Tommy. What's up, bro? What do you think? Is school a good excuse for blowing off a scheduled show? I don't know,
I
man.
think so. I think so. I think we can let him. I think we can let him get away with it. But in the midst of the school, it looks like I'm guessing it was Thiago who come up with the intro. So there's been work done. There's been work done.
Um,
Then
and actually,
you're gonna be surprised because
yeah, I was gonna say
It was
the
quite.
intro I put together, but this this whole show has been Tiago, so
That was
I'm
a
going into it.
naughty intro. That was a naughty intro, by the way.
Thanks, man. I'm glad you liked it. I thought it all. I got the beat from a buddy. I'll need to credit him at the end of the show today, and then slapped it all together real quick. It was too easy. But this presentation from Tiago, we we're getting some actual football content on Talking Ball, which is rare. It's usually which footballer would you rather sleep with, like A or B,
yeah.
or
Let's make a quick round of that for Tommy because he wasn't here Monday. We need to do it for him. Sonny or who was it? Sonny and Hugo was it? We were doing on
it
Monday.
might have been Sonny versus Hugo. Who would you choose? You got to, or you can only one.
What now, or you mean in general, like before they came? So before they came, could we have Hugo's career or Son's career? Is that what you're? Is that
No,
what you're
we're
saying?
talking
Is he
about like if you had to
sleep
sleep
with one
with
of
one of
them?
If I
those
had to sleep
guys.
with it, if I had to sleep
Yeah,
with
if
him,
you had to.
right?
It became Channel
Okay,
4. It
okay.
became
This
Channel
is
4
right.
and
Okay,
so we're
this is different. This is heading into Love Lounge territory. But
exact see
Yeah.
that's what
right.
we were apologizing. We kind of
We
hey,
kind of
celery
stole from the
agents here
show.
and celery agents kind
Big
of
up
on a
Sonny.
knife's edge wondering what the answer to this question might be.
I would say Son because I haven't. Uh, no, I better not say this. No, I better not say this. But I'm
Oh
half.
man.
I'm half Asian. I'm half Asian, so I can say this. I've never slept with another Asian, so yeah, I'll
Oh,
take Son.
there you
Yeah.
go.
But
There
it's
you go,
difficult.
Sonny.
It's tricky. It's tricky, man.
That's
It's tricky.
there's yeah,
Hugo's
Speaking
definitely
of
more
that,
aggressive, isn't he? Hugo's definitely more aggressive.
yeah, he
yeah,
would. You would think that he would be, but it's tough. It's a tough choice. There's totally different ends of the extreme, and that's basically you missed Channel 4
hi
is
Goguma. Oh, in the chat as well.
Guguma. Yeah, we basically turned into Channel 4 the other night, and we just wanted to give you a little taste of that before things got educational and or informative. So
Yeah, before we start, we have another one. Mr. Cody Mack. It's not an awkward
Cody,
time. It's only
it's a good
love.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. And he's been discussing a lot with Will Stewart on Twitter about Canada. He's happy Canada going to the World Cup in 2022. Apparently,
Yeah.
him and Will,
Mm.
a good discussion in the tweets. So,
Have
shall we
they made
start?
it, or will they? Have they made it, or are we discussing?
They're
Will they
about to
make it?
make it. They're about to
Oh,
make it. They're first place,
oh.
really close to it.
Well, their youth coming through is crazy. The youth
Yeah,
development coming through there is unbelievable.
yeah. They
Oh,
on
dude, yeah, their youth is
Sunday
incredible. Stupid good.
and on Sunday they beat the US 2-0. So Canada is
I knew that. I
looking
saw them
very,
one
very
0 up. I
strong.
saw when they were 1-0 up, but I didn't follow the result. So that's quality.
Mhm.
They're playing really good football. Really
They
good
really are.
football.
They've got a system that really works.
Yeah, they
To their
do.
credit, they and that's I'm jealous. But I thought we were talking about Spurs. Let's talk about things that make me happy some of the time, and that should
Well,
be
national teams make me happy because on Tuesday was one of the best games I've watched in a long time from us. So
I'm Thiago. I'm from Brazil. All the football that's ever been great.
Do you remember,
my country.
Thiago? Do you remember you come on my stream last week and you're like, yes, Emerson's starting, and 20 minutes later he got sent off. 20 minutes later he got 2 yellow cards.
No,
I'm going to prove you wrong, Tommy. I'm going to prove you wrong, Tommy. Emerson has got great pedigree.
He doesn't help me.
He
doesn't help me. But I gotta be honest, I thought it was harsh because his first yellow card was like inside 1 minute. It was like just the ref giving a yellow card saying, yeah, I got control of the game. So whatever foul is going to be punished. But yeah, he got sent off after 20 minutes. Alisson got sent off twice and he still managed to finish the game. So that's how crazy it was. And we didn't win, so it was a shit game. But against Paraguay,
okay. But back to good club football.
Okay, I'm gonna share the screen.
I was gonna say both of you guys have lovely countries and historic football. You know that goes back. I'm from the U.S. and Clint Dempsey and Landon Donovan is the history of my country's football. So,
and here it's going fine. So, we're gonna start talking about the transfer window. It's gonna be kind of a transfer window show. We're gonna do a review of what we think, but also a more tactical stream tonight. We're gonna talk about how Bentancur and Kulusevski can play under Antonio Conte and how they can help our squad in the second half of the season. But arguably the best part of the transfer window for most Spurs fans were the players that left. So I'm going to put this question to Tommy. Dele Alli, Lo Celso, Ndombele, and Brian Hill, all of them left in the deadline day. What would the squad miss from them going away, or if we're going to miss something?
I suppose that was to me. That was to me, right?
Yeah.
Right. I suppose if you look at those players, they're flair players. They all are flair players to a certain degree. So you're gonna lose some imagination. You're certainly gonna lose some imagination. But the problem with the imagination is you just don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know how consistent it is. And with all of those 4 players, you lose. There is no consistency to their creativity.
Yeah.
They all have it in the locker, but it wasn't seen enough, especially the first 6 months of this season. So I don't think we're missing a great deal. And if you look at Dele Alli, Lo Celso, and Ndombele, I would say they were natural number 10s. And under Conte, we don't play with a number 10. So, I don't think we're missing a great deal. I'm slightly disappointed to see Brian Gill going, if I'm honest with you, because he cost £35 million. It's the same with Emerson. You know, he costs you £30 million. Just let him have the season. Just let him have the season, see what they can do. So I'm a little disappointed with that. But overall, to get Dele out on a permanent final day of the window is fantastic.
But that deal's so weird. I still don't think a single one of us really knows like how it's structured, or supposedly 10 mil on like pretty easily obtainable bonuses, and then up to 30 mil or something.
30 million pounds. I think it was a very good deal. The fact that we were still able to maybe finesse 30 million pounds for Dele Alli. It's a great deal. It's a great deal.
I guess, unless he turns out to, I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna either end up getting less than 10 for him, or it's gonna end up being worth more than 30. You know what I mean? Though, just as the Tottenham way.
Yeah, and Brian Hill, Wednesday he played for Valencia, or was he?
I'd seen that.
He had a good game. A lot of people were saying he played really well for Valencia. He played 90 minutes, 100% success in dribbling. So maybe, Colin, do you think it was a mistake letting him go?
No, I don't. As long as he's going to continue to get consistent game time like that. I know that it's not the Premier League, but like even European football in the top 5 of like any of the top 5 leagues. I don't know. It's something. If you can get that game time consistently, I think it's worth it. He wasn't getting it here. And Conte doesn't particularly use wingers, which is where, of course, Hill plays. It'll be interesting to see if Hill can kind of force himself into.
So do you think he's going to go 3-5-2, Colin? Sorry to interrupt, but you certainly think he's going to go 3-5-2?
I would guess so, but I don't really have a ton to make me think that, other than the fact that we haven't signed another striker. And so I would assume that he would go with like a front two, a weird one of like Kane and Steven Bergwijn, or Kane and Son, or Son and that. But that's just from what I've seen so far. He definitely could go with the front three, and then play Hill sort of how he plays Sonny. But Hill also is totally, people like ignore. They see, a flair player left wing, same guy, and it's like, no, dude. One player legit loves to like cut inside and take on his man, and the other player cuts the other direction and cuts outside. Like, I don't understand how they're not really interchangeable, and I think that Hill as like a sub for Sonny, it will work, but it changes the game a lot,
But one thing I've seen on social media quite a lot, and in a few streams as well, is the fact that we loaned Brian Hill to Valencia. Because people are saying, oh, he needs to get used to the English football. Why didn't we loan him out to another Premier League club or a Championship club? And I agree. I mean, he needs to get up to speed with the English game. It's a more physical game. You have to run more. You need to be more physical. And in Spain, you see that there's a difference, because first game for him since he went back to Spain, he had 1 day of training with Valencia, and he was already playing really, really well for them. So I don't really know if a loan move to Spain will really develop his game for him to come back next season and maybe have a bigger role for us under Antonio Conte.
It's tough. It's tough to say. Like I said, I know that Conte isn't the biggest fan of like pure like out and out wingers. There's not really spots for them in his lineup, at least not like most of the time. And
one issue with that I have, Colin, is the fact that Kulusevski, Bergwijn, and Sonny, they're all natural wingers. Their first positions are wingers. They can adapt to a different position. So I think he's still going to go 3-4-3. I think
that makes sense. Okay,
yeah.
so that signing to you is kind of course we knew that you meant the heart, Cody. But anyway, so okay, so that signing sort of solidifies in your mind that it's going to be a front three instead of a front two.
Yeah, we're talking about. I heard today Kulusevski could play right wing back. He could play striker. Lucas, obviously, we know is a right winger. He's basically number 10 the last year and a half. Bergwijn is, can play striker apparently because he scored 2 goals against Leicester, and Sonny we know is a left winger. So I'm not sure. We don't have another strike. We don't have another natural striker. We're just moving wingers into the striking row. So yeah. I'm still convinced. I'm still convinced we're going to go 3-4-3. But if it doesn't work, we can switch to 3-5-2 and maybe stick. If it goes really bad. So it's going to be. Well, right. That's how it's been. I mean, that's how it's been. We've all seen it. It's 3-5-2, 3-4-3, 3-5-2, 3-4-3.
And Kane is that central, and Kane's that focal point most of the time.
Yeah, regardless, he's always the vocal point, isn't he? Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, he's always the vocal point.
I think the biggest problem.
I was just going to say, someone asking about my facial hair. It's actually, I got mugged today, and they took my facial hair and some other stuff. And so if you see a beard, mustache kind of combo just around town, let me know.
Does Indiana red hair go for money? Is there is there a market? Is there a market?
Yeah. Yep. And it's for all kinds of bad stuff. So just be on the lookout for a beard and mustache combo. And let me keep some sideburn, so that's good. But we got all kinds of love in the chat. Everybody loving everybody, which is good. Always
big up
good.
Everyone.
Biggest.
Oh, Spurs mom, Goguma. Oh, we've got the regulars in. We've got the brilliant regulars in.
Ellie's here. I know, man. This is.
I've only ever seen Ellie on Irish Hotspur streams. I've only ever seen Ellie on Irish Hotspur.
Ellie and I have become friends. Ellie's awesome. This is the first she's seen me without facial hair.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, we need to work on this, Colin, because every time is.
We're clicking on each other. But anyway, okay. So we were talking about Brian Hill, how we don't think he'll miss him. And then Tommy, you were trying to change my mind. Wingers. He does use wingers. He's got Sonny. And you named off his big list of wingers to choose from. And sorry, I was not mugged. I was making a bad joke, about my facial hair, joke about where my facial hair went. I said I got mugged and someone stole my beard, but and then
Imagine Colin tied up and someone just shaving his beard.
it's a bad joke. I feel terrible now. Let's change the subject. I feel such a bad person. All right, so Thiago,
I just want to say quickly. I think the biggest part that will play against us going through 5-2 is that now we only have 4 central midfielders, so we're not going to really have much option on the bench if we need to change. If someone gets injured, there won't.
You're right. You're right. Okay. All right. So it's a 3-4-3.
That's
It's a 3-4-3.
that's another very, very good point. Yeah, we've lost
We
potential.
figured it out. We figured it out, boys. All right. Let's pack it up.
We had 6 central midfielders. Now we only have 4.
Yeah, this is 3-4-3, isn't it? It has got 3-4-3 written all over it.
Yeah.
It really does when you think about it. No backup striker. The 4 players I mentioned were wingers, and a brilliant point. Thiago's put only 4 central midfielders, 1 as backup. And we've got a lot of games in the second half of the season. We say we're out of Europe, but we've had 4 games postponed. So we've got them to play. We're still in the FA Cup. So we're still going to look at the depth. We're still going to need the depth. Rely on the depth to a certain extent. And I think 3-5-2 is out of the equation. You've just sold it to me, Thiago. I put it in there. You've just sold it to me. I think it's 3-4-3.
Yeah.
For example, with games, we're going to have Brighton tomorrow. Then midweek, we have Southampton. Then we have Wolves. And then I think if not the next week, the next one, we're going to have Burnley. The postponed game was rearranged like between the City game and another game. So this first few weeks, we're going to have midweek games, I think all of those weeks. So it's going to be really hard, and Conte will have to rotate the squad because it's not much depth for him. For example, as center back, we also don't have a backup for Ben Davies. Reguilon is a problem because Sessegnon is always injured, so it's not always that we have a backup for Reguilon. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen because we just have to hope that we don't get lengthy, very important injuries for Kane, Son, Hugo, Romero again, because they are the most important players for us right now. So if we're able to keep them fit, I think we can get results to the end of the season.
We're looking like we're gonna just squeak top 4 to me, with the signings we've made, and assuming we don't have any catastrophic injury problems. I don't know, Tommy. It's looking pretty good to me, man. You on the same page? You think are you as rosy as me, or do you think that it's going to be a lot harder than I'm anticipating? We just have to remember that teams around us aren't exactly at their best. We've AFCON's still going on to a certain extent, affecting teams. It's going to be a weird, chopped up season, and I don't see any reason to think that top 4 is out of our reach.
And Man United I think Man United is 1-1 against Middlesbrough. Look, there's all X in the pitch. Yeah, 1-1. So they put a strong team out, Man United. The strongest team they could put out. Ronaldo, Sancho, Pogba, come back in, Maguire. Yeah, they're 1-1.
Is it?
I'm not sure. It just said second half, and they've all walked off the pitch because I switched it over, but it didn't say full time. It's weird. I don't know. It's really weird. Something may have happened on the pitch or something.
Do we have the replay?
No, it is. It's going to extra time now. It's going into extra time.
Extra time.
Oh wow, wow! Everyone, stay tuned for news in that in that direction.
Yeah.
But Thiago, I don't know. What are we missing with all these outgoings? What do you think?
You would argue, as Tommy said, the imagination. Ndombele with his dribbling moves was supposed to be a guy with really good passing. Dele Alli, a guy with his late runs into the box or his cheeky nutmegs in tight spaces, but we were not seeing any of that this season anyway. I think what we're going to miss the most is depth. I think that's the biggest problem with them going. I'm not mad that they're gone. I actually wanted them to go, and they did. Brian Hill maybe is the one that I still don't understand why sending him alone to Valencia, but he needs time to develop. And if Valencia is the place he's gonna get minutes, then let him go to Valencia. If he didn't have a market in England, but he had in Spain, let him go to Spain.
You could argue that all the free loan moves were not smart. We've just put them back where they were once good. So we can't really put him in the shop window. I mean, Brian Gill, we don't want to sell. Obviously, we want him to, I think he's got a contract till something like 2026. So we want him to grow, which is why, for me, as you say, lower Premier League club, we should have loaned him to.
Yeah.
Southampton, Brighton, something like that, or high championship. I wouldn't have been against high championship club. The championship is so unbelievably.
That would have been
fierce. It's so
that would have
fierce.
been really, really good for him.
And Ndombele's just gone back to Lyon, so okay, we're confirming that he can only play in a slow league, which is a very slow league. League, and so it's difficult to put him in the shop window there. Potential buyers would be like, well, he only ever does it in France. So
Spanish, I think maybe a Spanish team might see his performances in the French league and be.
That's what I would have liked him to go to Spain or Serie A. I thought he was going Serie A. I thought he was going with Inter AC Milan. I thought he was going there.
He should have gone to another league to prove he can succeed in Spain or in Italy, so he would create a market for himself.
There was Valencia as well, wasn't there? There was Valencia as well, wasn't there? That come up. That would have been good.
Because as of now, we only know that Ndombele did well in France. Do we know if he's going to do well in another country? We know England is not going to be this place. So I agree with that. We should have, maybe the best move would have been loan him out to Spain or Italy. But still, we got a 65 million euros option to buy from Lyon. If they trigger that, we're going to finesse the same price we spent for him. That is a very good move for us if we get the money. I don't think we will, but yes. Look, oh yeah, she did a few days ago. It's true. Big up, Ellie. Whenever you're free, you want to jump on chatting shit. Is our show on Monday? We always put the link in the chat. If you want to join on Mondays, feel free. Fulham would have took Hill as they sold their star player to Liverpool. It's true. Fulham would have been.
If they sold Carvalho, if they sold the Carvalho, they may have taken. Yeah, they may have taken it. Apparently, Klopp's still in for him. Klopp said that he's going to go after Carvalho in the summer. He's a very good player, very very good player. So that would have made sense. Yeah, that would have made sense.
It's true. Maybe if Fulham come to the Premier League for next season and Liverpool really get Carvalho, then send Brian Hill alone to Fulham to spend the season in the Premier League with Fulham. Maybe
Colin, I've been doing a lot of streams with you, Colin. Who should we sign from Fulham?
It's tough, actually. They've got some good players.
It's Mitrovic, isn't it?
It's Mitrovic. It's Mitrovic all day. God, he would be a good signing. He would be perfect. Slot in at striker and play almost exactly the way we play right now.
I agree. I think backup
would he be as good? No. Would it work? Yes.
Yeah.
Would he score more than 0 goals? Yes. Would he be able to? He'd probably score against some of the shit tier teams that we just cannot score against for some reason. He seems like he would just go out there and just be angry.
I can't accept.
Sorry, Thiago.
No, just talking about strikers. I still can accept the fact that Burnley were the team that got Weghorst. He would have been perfect for us. Play alongside.
Wait, who got him?
Burnley.
For half the money they sold Wood for to Newcastle, £12 million. They sold Wood for 25 million.
What the hell is going on? We just have to legit not want a striker or something. I don't know. That's bonkers to me.
It is madness. It is madness. Further evidence that Conte's going to play with 3-4-3, isn't it?
It has to be. Yeah.
He's going to play 3-4-3. Fulham in general, we sometimes offload a few players there, don't we? We do some business with them. When we signed Sessegnon, we gave them Onyema, who didn't turn out great. So Mitrovic, give them Jack Clark. Mitrovic, give him Jack Clark. That'd make me happy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good
there we
answer.
go. Done and dusted. I think it's a good deal. Benefits all sides. And we finally get to see this Mitrovic experiment that we've been calling for.
We'll be like, it's quality Fulham, but you can have him, Jack Clark. He's quality, but you can have him.
We're really screwing ourselves over in this deal, like we always do. But classic Tottenham. What are you gonna do? I have to take them for us. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Um,
big up to Ellie though in the chat. I know you guys have all been big up. You got to big up Ellie. She's a legend. Former Spurs women's
really
teams
quickly
player.
about Hitchin. Um, we're gonna talk about this through the end because now we're gonna talk about the incomings, which is the fun part for for us because we always want the big players to come in. We didn't get in big players, but I think we got um, two good players, and now let's see how they can fit our team. We're going to start with Bentancur, 24 years old, from Uruguay. He's a central midfielder or defensive midfielder. For Juventus, 181 games, 3 goals and 18 assists. And this season, um, 26 games, 0 goals and 3 assists. Now is a part of the stream that I'm going to become kind of a coach slash teacher because I brought how Bentancur played for Juventus in his best season for them, which was the 2019-2020 season under Maurizio Sarri. And if we understand the way he was played by Sarri in that team, it will be easier for us to see how he fits Spurs and why he became an option for us. And the first thing we need to understand about that team is that Sarri, when he comes into a team, he tends to play in a 4-3-3. But he had a couple injuries. Douglas Costa, who is a winger, Deschiglu, who is a right back. So he had to change the system because he didn't have cover for these players. His right back actually became Juan Cuadrado, who is a right midfielder, Colombian right midfielder. He became the right back for them. And Maurizio Sarri decided to play two different systems: 4-4-2 diamond or a 4-3-1-2 formation, which is there's not much of a difference between them. Just the numbers in the formation change, but essentially they don't change much between themselves. Um, and here's the formation he made for Juventus: Chesney in goal, Quadrado on the right, Alexandre on the left, Chiellini deletes the two centre backs, Pjanic, Matuidi, Bentancur in the midfield, Dybala as the attacking midfielder, and Ronaldo and Higuain. And as you can see, Bentancur, central midfield, more to the right. That's where he used to play often for Juventus. And he was undoubtedly the best midfielder they had that season. It's a season they struggled a little bit, but in the end, they were able to get the Serie A title. They won the league, um, even though they struggled during the season. And Bentancur was their biggest central midfielder and the most important part of creativity from there. And why is creativity there a big part? Because it all starts with Pjanic dropping a little bit deeper. He's in midfield. He's going to drop a little bit deeper, closer to the centre backs to play the register role. And the register role would be pretty much what we'd say about Brozovic at Inter Milan, or the biggest example of all needs to be Jorginho. He did that for Napoli with Maurizio Sarri. He did that for Chelsea with Sarri as well. He does that for Chelsea today. In our squad, we have Harry Winks, which is that player that is going to recycle the ball all the time and just spread the pass sideways to keep the ball moving. So that's where it starts. And Pjanic had Bentancur as an option for a pass. And when Bentancur received the ball, you can see 3 different options here. The first, passing the ball to Dybala, the white arrow. The red arrow, breaking the lines, passing to the forwards, vertical passes to Higuain. Ronaldo played on the left because he succeeded as a left winger in his career most of the time. So as a striker, he would probably understand why he was the left striker, or he could pass the ball to Cuadrado, who would bomb forward, cross the ball to find Ronaldo or Higuain inside the box. So Bentancur was this player that would connect the the midfield to the attack, because Dybala was an attacking midfielder. He would drop between the two strikers, or drop more to the wings. And Bentancur and Matuidi were the two players that would make the ball reach Dybala, Ronaldo, and Higuain. And oh no, yeah, then it's defensively. So going forward, that's how Bentancur would play for Juventus. He would pass the ball to the striker, to the fullback, or to the attacking midfielder. He could also go into the spaces, do something for himself, because Dybala would move more to the wing. Higuain would also move to the wing, trying to stretch the opposition, and then there would be a space in between the defense, the fullback and the centre back, and Bentancur would be the guy more on the right to attack that space. And that's where he got most of his goals and assists for Juventus that season. He led the team in assists, in expected assists, and he was also the highest with passing completion rate. And defensively, Sarri wanted to play a more pressing style, but he had Ronaldo and Higuain as the two strikers, and we know that they're not strikers that are going to press. They were old, they were slow, they were not going to press like Sarri would want them to do. So Bentancur, when defending, he would have two jobs. The red one, which we're going to see in the visual next, he would drop to the right wing and press the opponent who's trying to play out from the back. Or two, in case Cuadrado was the guy to advance and press the opponent, Bentancur would cover the space left by the Colombian, which we can see here. Bentancur, more on the right, as you can see, he would drop closer to the wing, pressing the fullback to close the space and close the passing lanes, so the opponent wouldn't be able to play out from the back. Or he would drop a little bit deeper to cover the space that Cuadrado left. Cuadrado would go forward. He would be the one to press the fullback. And Bentancur would be the one to follow the opponent that used the space. Because look at the gap. Here's their defense. Someone needs to cover that gap. And for Sarri, this guy was Bentancur. So Bentancur, in the end, attacking and defending, he was running all over the pitch. He would cover so much distance. He would do the defensive job, and he would do the attacking job. In the end, he was a box-to-box midfielder for them, and he actually improved a lot going forward throughout that season. And brings me to the last one about him, which are his strengths and weaknesses. Excellent passing range, tackling, pressing, and stamina are his strengths. Weaknesses: poor ball carrying and lack of assists. So I'm going to start with Colin this time. Knowing that how he worked for Juventus, being more of a box-to-box midfielder, was he the one we needed for midfield? Do you think he's going to be a good option for us? Or should we go for something else?
I think he will be good for us. It's tough to just say for sure or with any like certainty, but we know that Conte doesn't play with a particularly. He doesn't play with like a number 10, so to speak. Like that's why Eriksen had to change his game to be something that he wasn't really before. He played for Inter, and so I think with the way that Conte likes to play, yeah, I think good signing. I'm in it. I think it's pretty good. I give it like a out of do what now?
You give him a positive hang loose.
Yeah.
The signing.
Yeah.
And tell me, I mean, looking at Bentancur, he doesn't look like the most creative player of all, and creativity is something that we've been missing. So what's your take on this signing? Do you think he was a good signing for us?
It's tricky. I mean, I haven't watched Serie A this season, but But I'm massive Serie A fan. It's the only other league I watch other than Premier. If you tell me Bundesliga, Liga, La Liga, I don't have a great knowledge on that. But Premier League, Championship, and Serie A. And it's a great point you make with Sarri. Brilliant visuals, by the way. Great breakdown. Absolutely brilliant, Thiago. And what I want to add is with Sarri, he gets the very, very best out of his centre mids. He's a centre mid manager. He's a centre midfield manager. So Jorginho at Napoli, and was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Alan as well. Alan that now plays for Everton was really good for him and Napoli as well.
Exactly. Yeah, him and Alan, and they were quite defensive-minded centre midfielders. Alan Moore, he really is a ball winner, Alan. So this is the thing. Under Sarri, very few centre mids get the luxury of playing under Sarri. This is the problem. In that role, he was the standout. He probably was the standout centre midfielder. But that was specifically under Sarri. I do think he's a little bit. He is deep. Everyone other than Sarri, he just seems to be very, very deep. And I feel like we needed goals in centre midfielder. Just you know what? Maybe 5 a season. Maybe 5 goals a season to take the pressure off. To take the pressure off some of the attacking players. But he banged one in for Uruguay the other day, didn't he? He banged one in for Uruguay the other day. But that was his first goal in 46 games. And I think.
And I thought of this. Oh, sorry. I thought of this too while you were talking. Like Conte doesn't typically rely on the playing straight through like the middle of the park or playing through the creativity coming through midfielders. Like he plays with a lot of that creativity coming from fullbacks.
I think he might do in a free. You can probably venture to that. You can have one loose guy doing basically if you've got 2 in behind him or 2 as cover, but with 2, I think he is going to be limited. He's going to be very, very limited. So I think he's a rotation player. I think he's just there to rotate wings, to rotate.
Exactly. Yeah, he could spell either one of those 2. I feel like. Yeah.
But if he's good enough, he can get in. If he's good enough, he can certainly get in. But yeah, his goals ratio is a problem because he just doesn't score goals. I mean, for Boca and I think if you combine Boca Juniors and Juventus, I think it's 184 games. He scored 3 goals. And that's in Serie A. That's in 184 games. Like
he just opened the tap, buddy. He just turned the tap on the other day. Just wait.
Yeah, hopefully. But I think Conte knows what he's doing. And I think absolutely his stamina, he can last. I think he will adapt to the Premier League in terms of the stamina. He'll be able to last the full 90 minutes and tackling, pressing. Absolutely, he is that sort of player. He will give you everything. Probably not in the same extent as Højbjerg, but you won't need to worry about his attitude. I don't think he's in the same realms as Ndombele, not in the slightest. So you won't need to worry about his attitude. He will give everything. So I think Spurs fans will love him. I think Spurs fans will absolutely love him. Whether he's got that talent, I'm not so sure, but I hope so.
You were talking about he's not gonna be as good as Højbjerg. When we played a 3-5-2, we played with wings in the middle, Skip on the right, and Højbjerg on the left. If you had to drop one of them to play Bentancur, who would you drop?
Højbjerg. It'd have to be Winks. It'd have to be Winks because I don't think Skip or Bentancur really. I think they're slightly more attacking than Højbjerg. So you'd stick with Højbjerg doing the absolute defensive duties. You'd stick with Højbjerg. And Winks, it's only really been the last month to 6 weeks, hasn't it? Where he's really started doing well again. I didn't realize he started the last 4 games, Winks. He's actually started the last 4 games. So obviously Conte really, really likes him. He really, really likes Winks. So it would be an interesting scenario. But if I had to, I would probably I'd drop Winks out of those 3.
And if you had to make a midfield 2 in a 3-4-3, who would be his partner?
Bentancur's partner. It's difficult because you don't have that natural ball winning. I'd still have to say Skip. I'm just a Skip lover. Yeah. I'm just a Skip lover. He's injured, isn't he, for tomorrow? But that boy is something else. He needs to keep getting first team football. Even if he doesn't fit perfectly into the system, he needs to keep getting first team football because he's improving all the time. I remember in one of the games, he's almost a right winger. He was almost a right winger against Leicester. I think he was playing against Leicester.
It's true. He showed some pace as well.
Exactly, he adapted to the right wing, so he's extremely adaptable. So if he's not the centre mid we really want or need, I think he could into that centre midfield role. So I think he'd do a bit of everything, Skip. So I would just whatever. He'll be one of the first names on the team sheet, Skip. After Kane and Son, and Larry, it's Skip for me.
Yeah, it's true.
Just for his attitude and the way that he cares. I've seen him come flying into tackles. So everyone else is just like they've given up on the ball, and in that situation, he comes flying in and wins the ball back. Ellie also just said Fred's just crap. What a miss! I didn't see his miss, but he's a miss in general. I think you could say his purchase was maybe.
He's not a miss in general because people are not going to believe what I'm going to say, but he does a very good job for Brazil. Whenever he plays for Brazil, he's outstanding. I don't know how, but he's outstanding for us. Don't know if it's quality right beside him because he plays with Casemiro and Fabinho, two world-class central midfielders.
They probably make Tommy look like a good center mid.
Me?
Yeah.
I had my passing range was dreadful, to be honest with you. You've got excellent passing range, but I could get my foot in. I could take players on. I see myself as a bit of a Dembele, to be honest with you. I see myself as a bit of a Dembele.
That's good.
I can't wait to meet
I'll
all
have to
you
show
guys.
you next time you come to the UK or when I go to the States, we'll have to do something like 5-a-side, 6-a-side. I think AFTV done something like that. Yeah, let's do it.
That sounds ill. When I saw Josh in real life, I realized he's like over 6 foot. I did not think that he was like a big dude, but I saw him and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like warn a guy when you're tall. Like warn me so that I know.
I didn't think Josh would be that tall. To be honest with you, I didn't think.
Josh would be I think if you're over 6 feet, you got to warn whoever you're meeting that you're that tall, just so that they know and so everybody's cool with it.
But how tall are you guys? Because I'm 6 foot. You guys?
I'm like 5'10". 5'10".
I'm just under 5'11". I think I'm 180. I know I'm always 180 centimeters, so I think I'm about almost 5'11", something like that.
Man, I'm lucky. I'm 185, 84. So in the end,
must be nice. Yeah, must be nice.
That's tall. Jens is like 6'6". Have you seen Jens?
Yeah, I know. Rez is tall, but everyone knows that. You can just tell that.
Is he tall? Because he looks short for me. I had him.
Well, he's like this on his chair, isn't he, Rez? He's like this.
Yeah,
chill.
Exactly. He's a pretty tall dude. Pretty tall lad. Man, I really hope that.
Oh, if United get knocked out.
United get beat. Come on. Come
but
on.
So just to close on Bentancur, because the stream tonight's not going to be as big as the one on Monday. Colin, out of 10, Bentancur for you.
I mean, solid so far. Before getting to see him play or anything, I think it's a solid 6.5 to 7 maybe of a signing with the potential to get even better, but also the potential to get worse. But yeah, that's fair to me. It's a good cover at 2 positions basically. I think in a pinch he could do the more defensive side of the game, and I think also he could be the skip of the 2 as well, depending on needs. So yeah, I mean, it's probably like a 7, but like I said, could go up or down 1 maybe depending on how he plays out with the team.
Tommy?
Out of 10. See, my in English football, he just reminds me of Andre Gomez. He really reminds me of Andre Gomez in terms of his elegance. He's very elegant, but he is both footed. So that works in his favor. He can get out of bad if he's in a corner in the corner of the box. He can get out of position quite easily. So with that in mind, my brain's telling me 6, but I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy. So we need him to do well. So I want to say 8. Therefore, I'll come in the middle. So I'll say 7. I think seven's fair.
Safe. It's safe. I'm
glad he's a tough tackler. It's not exactly what we need, but we need the right attitude now. With the 3 players we let go,
Yeah.
Not Gil, the other three. We need the right attitude now. That's the absolute pivotal thing, and he has that. He certainly has that.
I think something he still doesn't have, but I hope Conte can unlock, is that Uruguayan shithousery they naturally have. That they're nasty, they're gonna kick the opponent, like not to get sent off. They're gonna kick, they're gonna be that pain in the ass, just like Romero is. If we can get that out of Bentancur, it's great
Are you
because
saying it's a South American thing, Thiago? Or are you
it
being
is.
are you
I
being
mean,
racist?
Kick your face off, bite your ears off. Look at Suarez.
yeah,
I like
it
it.
Yeah,
depends. It depends because, for example, us Brazilians we don't have much of that because we take the piss with dribbling moves. We don't kick, we don't punch, we don't elbow our opponents. We dribble them. But Argentina, Colombia, Uruguay, Chile, they're gonna beat you down until you're like, I can't do this anymore. Can't do this anymore. I'm tired. I'm about to die here. And you get scared of playing against them because they are very physical. So it's something that Uruguay has a lot. She has it. Like you can see, um, Luis Suarez. He even bites his opponents. He literally bites his opponents. So
yeah. So out of out of the two signings, Thiago,
wait, we're
which
gonna talk about Kulusevski first. We're gonna talk about him.
okay.
Ooh,
All right. I didn't know. I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
yeah, you are.
I'm excited to
Premature
talk about.
ejaculation a little bit there.
Whoa. Yeah. Could be said. That could be said.
Yeah. So Dejan Kulusevski, 21 years old, Swedish, can play as a right winger and a central attacking midfielder. For Juventus, 74 games, 9 goals, 10 assists, and for Parma, 15 games, 55 games, 10 goals and 9 assists. He was very good for them in 2019 as well. The same season that oh, the dog. Wait,
Yes.
even
Oh, yeah. We
even
gotta
put
make the
him.
dog.
Remember,
We gotta show the dog. Hello.
Oh, yes. What is?
Max, he's so fat.
Hello.
He is still a puppy. He's still a puppy.
Oh
But
my God.
everyone
He's
in the
gonna be
chat,
massive, bro.
everyone in the
What?
chat's desperate to see him.
Yes. This
Well,
is
no,
perfect,
he's like
Max.
1.5. He's like 1.5.
Oh,
He's
okay.
beautiful.
Okay.
Beagles are amazing. Right, back to the football. Oh,
What
he nearly ate my cake. He nearly just ate my cake. Right.
I'm proud of you for saving that, man. What a massive pupper. What a massive pupper. Okay, so
Here
hey, he
comes
missed. So Tommy missed the first slide.
here comes Cody Mack. He's just over the moon with Canada, but um, the first slide was this, showing his stats: 74 games for Juventus, 9 goals, 10 assists, 55 for Parma, 10 goals, 9 assists. Better numbers. I mean, you would expect him to have better numbers. He's a right winger. Um, just as Bentancur, he was very good in the 2019-2020 season, but he played for Parma. In that season was the season that Juventus signed him. He spent the, the second half of the season on loan at Parma, and then he joined Juventus in the summer. And well, he was a right winger in a 4-3-3 system for Parma. Parma didn't have a possession-based football, averaging only 47.2% of possession. And how did Kulusevski work in possession for Parma? He would be an inside forward, and that's why I'm excited for him to come for Spurs and play for Antonio Conte. He was a winger. He would drop more to the middle and open the space for the fullback to overlap and cross the ball. He is a guy, and he has had it. He has said this himself. He likes to play from the right to the middle. That's what he likes to do. So he likes to cut inside. And what do we have with Antonio Conte in a 3-4-3? Inside forwards who come closer to Harry Kane to open the space for the wingbacks. So the right wing position in Conte's system is what Kulusevski did for Parma, which is where he got 10 goals and 8 assists. If we get almost 20 goal contributions for him, it's going to be huge. So in possession, playing out from the back, that's what Kulusevski would do. He would drop more to the middle to open the space for the fullback. Before we go to the counter attack, which was a big weapon for Parma, we need to see how he worked defensively because he had a big job. Oh no, this is a visual of how the team would look in attack. Him dropping more to the middle, closer to the striker, and the two fullbacks coming forward to help the attack. Now, it means that in possession, rather than being a winger, he was more of an inside forward, cutting inside and playing closer to the striker. And sorry, yes, there's a G missing playing. English is not my first language, so please
You did
forgive
good.
me.
You did good. You're
Yeah.
forgiven this time. This time.
Yeah, this okay. Kulusevski is a player who also could provide creativity in tighter spaces through the middle. Before looking at the movement and counter-attack, we're going to see how he operated in defense. Because when defending, Parma would move to a 4-5-1, and Kulusevski would drop back to a second line of defense. They would sit in a low block, and would be the 5 players, the 2 center backs, the 2 fullbacks, and one of the midfielders would drop in the middle of the line. 2 central midfielders, Gervinho and Kulusevski, would join them, make a line of 4, Cornelius up front. So Kulusevski would sit on the wing in the second line of defense to help Parma defend, which means he covered a lot of spaces, and maybe that's why Antonio Conte said today he has potential to be a wingback for us. So the fact that he would come back, help defending in the second line of defense might be the fact that shows Antonio Conte he might be a wingback. In the counter-attack, very simple, recover the ball, quick transition, ball to the central midfielders who would find the space for the front three, Kulusevski on the right, speed, power, dribbling, finishing. He could score goals himself, he could assist his teammates. Simple counter-attacking, direct football. That's what he would do. And that's how they played most of the time, creating a 3 versus 2 situation. And, well, it worked. He scored goals. Parma had a good season. They had just been promoted, finished 14th place. It's not easy. They had a very, very bad financial situation. They went through the ranks in Italy to come back to Serie A, and they came back and stayed in Serie A. His strengths and weaknesses. He's a very good dribbler. In the 2019-2020 season, he completed 56% of his dribbling moves he tried. Good progressive runs, quick passing release, vision, forward passes in transition. He can split defenses with a pass or with a dribbling move. He makes good pressure, trying to pressurize the opponent who's trying to play out from the back, and good at attacking spaces. His weaknesses, aerial duels, acceleration is not the best, and passing against set defenses that sit back a little bit more. So I started with Colin, now I'm going to start with Tommy. Kulusevski to Spurs, good, bad, excited, not excited?
Well, I've learned a hell of a lot. I can tell you that. I've learned a hell of a lot from your visuals. Cracking once again, Tiago. What I want to say with Kulusevski, I think he's the one to watch out for out of the two. I really do. He is the one to watch out for out of the two. And you mentioned acceleration. I agree. It's probably because he's so tall. That's why his acceleration lets him down. But his overall pace, once he gets going, he's
not bad.
Real quick. Yeah, he's real quick. But obviously, acceleration is how quick it takes you to reach your top pace. And obviously, it is. That is, I suppose, something we need to take care of. But I heard a lot of people talk about him at right wing back. A lot of people are talking about him at right wing back the last couple of days. So I certainly think that can happen. But if it does, his aerial duels need to improve, don't they?
Yeah.
Certainly, he certainly needs to. His aerial duels need to improve. But I think as we keep going back to it, 3-4-3, he's going to be a right winger, and I think he's a great option. I really, really do. I think he's a great option. That was an average Parma side. If you stand out, that was some old names on there. Gervinho, the old Arsenal boy.
Oh, God, yeah.
Who is it? Bruno Alves at centre back. He was about 42.
Let me go back.
Yeah, Bruno Alves was about 42 at that point. Bruno Alves is a legendary centre back. He was an unbelievable centre back. Cornelius was a Cardiff reject, I remember, ages ago. I think this has been Solskjaer. Solskjaer was manager of Cardiff. He was a reject. So it
Darren
really
Young
are.
as well, the right back.
Yeah. I think did he go to Inter? I think he done pretty well.
Yeah.
I think he's at Inter now.
It's
So
it, yeah.
yeah, there's some names there. But they're all sort of past it. They're all past it. So for him to have stood out with those sorts of players around him, was unbelievable.
And have had
and they signed.
and recently
Was he? £31 million. It was
Wow.
not cheap when Juventus picked him up. 31 million.
And Ronaldo has said
Unbelievable.
so many nice things about him. You know what I mean? Like Ronaldo didn't have to give him all that praise that he gave him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He didn't have to do that. And so I think that speaks. If there's one person you want praise from, it's Ronaldo. If you're a footballer.
And Colin, in the summer we were also talking about Romero. Oh, defensive defender of the year in Serie A. This season, 1920, when Kulusevski stood out, he won the award for best young player in the league. He was selected as the best young player there, and Juventus went for him.
Sort of like the Dele of his day.
Yeah. I think he can do a good job. In the report I read about him, they were saying his aerial duels are not good. If you kick the ball forward and he has to challenge for the ball in the air,
back to goal, he's not gonna.
Yeah,
okay,
but
well that's good to know.
Bounces and he needs to use his body to protect. He's good. He's just not good because his jumping is not, for example, as good as Lucas. So that's why he struggles. But
or Tommy. I've heard also Tommy can jump almost as high as Lucas.
Yeah.
That's just
bigging myself up, aren't I? I'm properly bigging myself up.
I didn't hear it from you. Yeah, I heard it from somebody else.
Right, okay.
But
I've got pressure on me. I've got pressure on me. If you ever do end up playing football,
he can really jump. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about getting him in, man.
Me too. And he's 21, only 21 years old.
Right. It's sort of like we're losing Dele, and something that I feel like is when you really consider the career of the guy, like we're kind of not getting what we should have gotten for him. But we're also getting this another incredible young talent. All these guys that have played in Italy and that have been tearing it up and that Conte knows, go for it. If he knows them and has wanted them in the past or even just still wants them, I think he knows more about what he's trying to get. He knows what he got out of that squad that he won with at Chelsea. He knows what he needs from his players, and if he likes them, then all the better.
One thing I like about Kulusevski is that he looks to have. He's not the best finisher, but he has quality in finishing. Like that finish with his left foot that goes in the opposite corner, that big curve. He knows how to do that very, very well. He scored like 4 or 5 goals like that. He has that finishing touch in him. Maybe Antonio Conte can help him get even better because, let's be honest, Bergwijn and Lucas are not the best when it comes to scoring goals. And that's why the pressure is so high on Kane and Son every season because they're the only two that know how to score a goal for us.
Yeah, no, that would be something. If we could add another goal scorer to like 10 goals a season would be sick. We need to start making that up.
That's why I wanted someone like that instead of Bentancur. That's why I wanted someone that does have that background of scoring goals. I don't want to come back to it. But Bergwijn's finishing is unbelievable or shocking. Absolutely shocking.
I think it'll level out. It has to level out eventually, and as long as it does, then we're decent. We've got a decent player on our hands if it levels out. But if we could add him, getting like 5 to 10, and then another player like consistently getting 10, in addition to what we already have, which I know is asking a lot, but I think we'd be in really good shape.
But let's say Kulusevski comes into the team for the second half of the season and he becomes a starter for us. How many goals would you say is a good number for him this next 6 months?
All competition.
Is he going to get into Lucas? I don't think he's going to get into. I don't think he's going to get into the team above Lucas because Lucas has been so good.
Yeah, I can see him coming off the bench.
But
I mean, if he
let's say
scores 3 or 4, if he scores 3 or 4 and he's not
I'll say-
starting, that'd be amazing.
All right. Well, I'd say I give him 5 for the rest of the
But
season.
we will need to rotate him, as we said. We got postponement, so who knows? Who knows? We may just rotate them. I think the key is to get him in attacking positions. If we can get him in attacking positions, then he's young enough to learn. He's young enough to work on his finishing. Certainly,
Ellie just
we need
pointed
to
out
get
too
him in
that-
the box. That's what we're not doing with our players. We're not getting the players in the box. If we can do that, then that'll be fantastic.
But it brings me to another question. Just quickly, Colin. Do you see him
no,
playing
you're
as a
good.
10? Would you see him playing as a 10? I'd say yes. I would like to
It
see
depends
him as a
on
10 behind Kane and Son. Like
it depends on
Kane, Son, and him behind.
I've seen him play there for Juventus. I've seen him playing number 10 for Juventus a few times.
decent. Tommy, how was it?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, there wasn't a lot to be seen. This was last season when Juventus were really at their worst. This when Juventus were really at their worst. So he was coming in for injured players basically. And this season, Allegri plays with a 4-4-2. A lot of the time, he's been playing with a 4-4-2. So we definitely, if we play for a 3-4-3, it certainly suits him better in a 3-4-3. Or if Doherty and Royal, as I said, if they're hopeless like they have been, then he can come in as a right wing back perhaps. So there are options. There are options for Kulusevski to come into this team for sure. But I think first and foremost, he's going to be a backup to Lucas. Still so young, and it's an 18-month loan, isn't it? I thought it was 6 months, but it's actually 18 months. So we're going to see a lot of him. Bentancur was permanent, and 18-month loan contract. Hopefully it's not a Jedson situation where he cancels his loan after like.
We're just begging him. We're like, you know what, guys? Never mind. Keep the money we talked about. Just get this guy out of our club.
But I'm sure that's not going to be him. I'm sure that's not going to be Kulusevski.
But the conditions for us to buy him are easy. I mean, getting Champions League is not easy, but I think if he plays 15 games or something like that, it becomes an obligation to buy him. So I don't think it's going to be hard for us to get to the point we need to sign him.
Daniel Levy will pay 14. Daniel Levy will pay 14 games. You're playing him 14 games.
Yeah.
Just wait for his contract to run out. Guarantee it.
True. That's so Daniel Levy though.
We'll see with Golini. I don't think Golini is going to be made permanent, but I could be surprised still, I guess.
I think he will go back as well. Yeah.
I think he might be going back early. He's a 2-year loan. I think he might be going back early, Golini.
Yeah. Me too.
I know it's a 2-year deal.
But just to finish, Kulusevski, to do with Bentancur, and then we can go to the Brighton game. First of all, very quickly, out of 10, the signing, starting with Tommy this time.
I've got high hopes for Kulusevski. I really do. There's something there. Whenever a big club spends big on a player, they eventually come good. Like Renato Sanchez, when he went to Bayern Munich, he's one of my favourite players in the world now. And they signed him for like £30 million when he was 18. He was rubbish at Swansea. And I mean rubbish. And he sort of lived up to his potential. I think the same will happen with Kulusevski. Not to that extent, and they're completely different players. But I expect a lot. So I'm saying 8. I rate this. I rate this signing higher than Bentancur's.
Colin?
I'd say another 7, pocket 7s on our transfers, and I think that's good. I think for as late as we left things in the window. Surely to God, though, we didn't start working on these as soon as the public found out about them. They had been going on in the background for a while as options. But still, the speed with which we got them done, the fact that they weren't our choice A in really either of the two categories we were trying to sign in, I'm pretty happy with it. And we got
So, just quickly, it's my personal opinion. For me, Bentancur, he would work really well in a 3-5-2. But the problem, as we talked earlier, is that we don't have depth for central midfield to play 3 central midfielders at the same time. But for me, that's where he would work the best. He can work in a midfield partnership in a 4, but I don't think he would be as effective as in a 3-5-2. It feels a little bit unbalanced depending on who you play him with. If you play him with Højbjerg or Skip, I think it's better. But Højbjerg not the fastest player. Bentancur really isn't fast as well. So for me, he would work really well in a 3-5-2. So
Can I ask
I
you a
think
question, Thiago? Can I ask you a
yeah,
question regarding that?
sure.
Basically, so do you feel we should have kept one of the players we let out on loan? Do you feel we should have kept them? I think Ndombele and Delhi, their time was up. Do you feel we should have kept maybe Lo Celso? Because then we would have the option to play 3-5-2. Just a question. I mean, or we have to go with a 3-4-3.
I would like to see a 3-5-2 because I think when we play 3-5-2, Kane plays better. Our central midfielders play better. A partnership, Sonny and Kane would be great. Keeping them is a tough question. Maybe we would have kept one of them. It's tough because Dele Alli wasn't given anything. He just didn't have the desire. Ndombele didn't give a flying fuck about us. Lo Celso was a bad egg in the
And he's
dressing
Argentine.
room.
And he's Argentine. So, yeah, you wouldn't want him in
Yeah.
there.
Right.
No,
Out,
I
just on principle.
The problem for me is that he was always injured. Actually, I would give a chance to Harvey White. I like him. I think he's a good young player. He has that set piece that we lack.
I
He's
just
young.
genuinely think people named Harvey are probably pretty cool. It's a good
Harvey's
name.
sick
It's a good name.
Yeah, Harvey's
Yeah,
sick.
it's a good name. So yeah, I'd give Harvey a chance also. All the
That's a good
Harveys,
dog's name. I
Harvey
might
White.
call my next dog Harvey, thinking about it. Harvey.
See,
Yeah,
there
good
you
name.
go, dude. Get the floopy ear dog like you got now with the beagle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Love my beagles.
And now, just quickly, because this lineup actually had lots of likes on Twitter, and I wanted to bring to see what you guys think. I personally really like it. 3-4-1-2, Kulusevski has a 10, Kane and Son as strikers, Bentancur skip in the middle. What do you guys make of it? Good? Not
Well,
good?
Tommy probably doesn't like that Emerson bit, but I like the Emerson. I like it. I think it looks good. Eventually you would want Davis upgraded. I think but then I think that's like your biggest need on that
No, that's
team
not for the
sheet.
next transfer window. It's for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, I think it's good. I think that's what I would play, or something akin to that. Maybe tweak it a little bit depending on. But yeah, that's really close to not, if not exactly how I line things up right now.
Tommy?
Back three, definitely. That would definitely be my choice of back three, Romero, Dyer, and Davis. But can Kulusevski play centre mid? Because Conte doesn't play with number 10. So you're either asking Conte to do something he's never done, or you're asking him to do what he done with Eriksen, where he turned the number 10 into an attack, a centre mid, but a slightly more attacking centre mid. So the question would be, not can Kulusevski play number 10, but can he play centre mid? Can he play centre mid? Why not? Why not? If we need to play, because that is essentially a 3-5-2. If we need to play, or 3-4-1-2, if you like. If you need to play that and 3-4-3 isn't working, and there are a number of reasons why 3-4-3 wouldn't work, then yeah, I'll definitely look at that. I'll definitely look at that. It'd be interesting. It'd certainly be interesting. He'd be a fifth centre mid then, wouldn't he? So you can play the 3-5-2 more regularly. There's a lot. You could even say the same about Lucas. I've said this for a long time. Lucas does his best work coming from centre mid into number 10.
Yeah,
The amount of times Lucas picks up the ball at the centre circle and just drives. The only player that actually drives that plays this season. I'd be like, he could play there. So you could rotate Kulusevski and Lucas in that role. I really think Lucas we should have tried that. And we could. Because I think our best performances, as you said earlier, have been in a 3-5-2. And it does get the best out of Kane. It certainly does get the best out of Kane. So it's certainly worth consideration. I think Conte will consider it. I think he will consider it. So definitely the backline. That's definitely the best option. And I can't wait till Romero's back. I really can't. I can't wait till Romero's back.
I mean, it should be after this break is over. He should be in contention for this weekend.
Yeah, he's available. I think we could move to the Brighton game already, and I think this would be a good first question. Would you start Romero straight away against Brighton, or would you save him for the Premier League?
Why not both, my friend?
because he's been out since November. It's almost 2 months since he last played football.
Yeah, you could like sub him off this match against Brighton maybe, and then if he's if he's study all the statistical analysis data, and if he seems good, then he'd be good for the weekend maybe.
Yeah, I would.
Stuff.
Oh, I think I wouldn't. I
You'd
don't know
save
why.
him.
I think I would because it's a cup tie. Brighton will play it all because for them, the Premier League, they don't have much hope of getting something. So the FA Cup is what they have. Maybe it's too hard of a game for him to play right now in terms of physicality. I don't know. I would keep him on the bench for Brighton tomorrow.
It's,
Put
it's,
Joe
he's been
Rogan. Put Joe
training for a
Rogan
long time,
out tomorrow.
hasn't he? He's been training for a long time, hasn't he? So he's been back in training for 3 weeks. I think Son's back as well. I think Son certainly
Yeah.
comes back in. But
Yeah.
with Ramiro, I would actually start him tomorrow and rest him against Southampton. I think Brighton obviously explode on the wings because of Lamptey and Cucurella, but I don't think their attack's exactly quick. I don't think they have a quick attack with Mopai and the centre mids. Trossard likes the ball to feet as well. A lot of their players like the ball to feet in the centre. So I think with that in mind, I would probably play Ramiro against Brighton and then be a little bit more careful against Southampton because they do have more pace on the wings. But
I'm
yeah, I
gonna check
wouldn't
because
play him. It is still risky though, isn't it? It's still very, very risky.
I want to check because I think. Oh, no! I would play him tomorrow, then rest him against Southampton because next Sunday is Wolves, and Wolves have
Yeah,
been playing really well. Yeah,
yeah, that's a
I'll
good
start
shout.
him tomorrow. Yeah,
Good shout.
Hmm.
Wolves have been playing well this season. Bruno Lage is doing a good job there.
Yeah. Man, and think about how much it would fit all the stupid like kind of anti-Spurs like narrative stuff if we were to lose to Brighton. Graham Potter's Brighton. Tottenham couldn't even get Graham Potter, but his Brighton team eliminates them from the cup. I don't know. I could write some lazy shit. That would work. But
I
I hope
I don't
I
know.
hope we
I'm
don't
not the
lose for
most
other reasons.
confident. I'm not the
I
most
done a
confident,
stream
but
earlier with a Brighton girl. She was on for the first half an hour, and I asked her a few questions. And Brighton are ninth, but they're a draw specialist. They've only won 6 games out of 22. They've won 6 games out of 22 and are ninth. So they draw a hell of a lot of games. 12 draws this season. So
Is their manager ABB in disguise?
that's pump for the draw, hope for the best. That was AVB, wasn't it?
It
But
was.
yeah, that's good in a way because as we know, look, it's penalties now. Man United is 4-4 on penalties, so it will go straight to extra time in pens, which is good. So draw won't really make a great deal of difference at Brighton. We still, you still win or lose. So that's interesting to take into effect. But it should be a cracking game either way. It should be a cracking game.
I think their front three isn't going to be a big problem for our defenders. I think we struggle more when we play with very strong, tall strikers like we did against
Yeah.
Lukaku, that pivotal role. Even though Lukaku wasn't the best, but he's like that focal point. And Brighton don't have that. And Brighton actually struggle a lot with finishing because Maupay just can't finish. Trossard once in a while. So I think it won't be much of a problem, but Brighton runs a lot and they fight a lot, and their wing backs are really good. I mean, we won one of their
I
wing
just hope we
play
don't
for.
go a goal down. I just hope we don't go a goal down. Is all I gotta say. That's Spurs all the time. I feel like we're always like right up there until we go a goal down. Almost inevitably. Why does it seem like we always go a goal down and then have to claw our way back? But yeah, if we can not go a goal, if we can score first, I think we're on track to cruise it. But go a goal down, obviously, and then it becomes a tough
Yeah. So
outing. Yeah.
I mean, I remember Brighton playing against West Ham. I watched that game in London. They were down to 10 men in the end because they made all the subs and one of their players left the game injured. They were still able to go and get a draw against West Ham in London. So they are a team with great.
Obligatory. Fuck West Ham.
What?
Said obligatory. Fuck West Ham.
Absolutely.
I'm obliged. Yeah, I'm obliged.
Can't stand them.
I mean,
Middlesbrough, knock Man United out. We want all the top clubs to come out, don't we? We want all the top clubs to go out. We got a chance.
We're doing it.
Middlesbrough, their penalties have been top class tonight. They've been very good.
They've got
ex-Sheffield United manager, haven't they? Chris
Wilder is there.
Yeah, Chris Wilder.
Oh wow, he's actually a really good manager. All right, come on. I liked his cool setup that he had with the was it the under overlapping center backs?
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
In a free. It's like it's like fashion football. It's like fashion. It was a trend. He was the first one to do it. Chris Wilder. He was literally the first one to do it. Now all the clubs are playing free at the back. If you look at the Championship, three quarters of the Championship play free at the back now, whereas before Wilder, maybe one, maybe two. It's like fashion. It's like the mullet. As soon as somebody's got the mullet, a couple of people got it. Everyone's got the mullet. Mullet's coming back. I'm telling you now, mullet's coming. Don't affect me. But mullet's coming back. It's just like fashion. It's like fashion. People follow. 442 will come back. 442 will come back in a year or two, and then everyone will follow. So yeah, Chris Wilder's quality. Come on, Middlesbrough.
Yeah, I can hardly think about anything other than this match right now. How much? What are we at, Tommy?
Nobody's missed a penalty. It's 7-6 in sudden death.
Oh God!
I hate penalties. Even if it's not my team, I get so nervous.
This one's missing. So Middlesbrough 7-6 up. This is Dallo. They're right back. Dallo. He's missing this. I guarantee it. We want the big teams out, don't we? Spurs. We want the big teams out.
Yeah. We need United out right now.
This is very. The United right back. I thought we were talking about the Middlesbrough player. It's the
the right back.
It's because I'm a little bit late.
I think it's going over the bar. He's going to blame the spot. Let's have a look.
Players always do it. They look to their boots and their
7-all.
Put it away. 7-all. Christ.
It's gonna be. It should have been the hand.
We're gonna have to hang out while they take this because I need to know what happens, but I can't end this. But I feel like I've learned a lot tonight, Thiago. Thanks for the little sesh. I feel like I'm a lot more caught up on our new players.
Now I did something quick because I'm just stacked with finals and everything, so I found some gaps today and I did the research very quickly, did the visuals, and
Gogan was calling the mullet and 442 revival.
It was, and Flares. I think Flares are already back. But yeah.
She also agrees with my score first approach, which I think we should take for the game tomorrow. Tommy, how's it looking, lad?
It's 8-7 Middlesbrough. So
they scored.
Who's this stepping up? Is this Elanga?
Scott M says Brighton draws because they outplay their opposition but can't score with their weak forwards. So a lot of those draws could have been.
But it's a sacrifice, though, isn't it, Scott? It's a sacrifice. Like with Kane, Maupay comes so deep. So you put Maupay in centre mid, and then you to control the game. Man United are out. Middlesbrough.
No way.
Maybe no way.
Oh no.
That was team. That was Man United's first team. Ronaldo, Fernandes, they're all starting.
Jesus.
We've got to win the FA Cup, boys. We've got to win the FA Cup. I'm telling you now. It's Man United out, Arsenal out. Winning the FA Cup. I'm telling you now.
Wow. What a terrible penalty. Jesus Christ.
Who missed it? I wasn't even watching.
Elanga.
Myself watching.
Wow.
Yeah. Right over the bar.
I don't know why people are saying this, but I actually struggle to think who is going to fight against us for top 4. I mean,
don't say that. People will get mad. You're being crazy. Don't say.
No, I'm not saying we're like top 4 favorites. But let's say we win our games in hand. We're in the best position. But Arsenal, I've heard a lot of people write off Arsenal. West Ham, they seem to be losing the energy a little bit. And United, they're a mess. I actually think the top four race, if it goes down to the wire, is going to be us against Arsenal.
I think so. I think a lot of people are dissing Arsenal. A lot of people are dissing Arsenal.
Yeah,
Beware.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but beware, because Smith Rowe, Lacazette's only there for 6 months, but Lacazette can do a job. I know
Ooh.
Aubameyang's gone.
Hey,
Martinelli can play up top.
Scott's throwing on
Martinelli can play up
the
top.
gauntlet.
I think their defense is as strong as it ever has been. Ramsdale in goal. I think Ben White, Gabriel. Ben White's not worth £50 million, but I think Tierney left back. I think they've got a very strong team, Arsenal. So I think they'll be our competitors, and they might sack Rangnick. Man United just might sack him and then get somebody else in and have another like a manager bounce or something. Because Rangnick's not a manager; he's a director of football. There's just a caretaker until they find a manager in the summer. So they might sack someone. If you can get the best out of Ronaldo and Fernandes with Pogba back fit, and you've got to say if they start playing, they've got to be the favourites. Then Arsenal, West Ham have the same issue with us. If Kane gets injured or Antonio gets injured, then big trouble.
They don't
have
backup.
backup. They don't have backup. So they might have the same issue with us. But I think overall we're stronger, and we have Conte. So I think we'll. If it was between us and West Ham, I think we'll do it. But don't write Arsenal off. Yeah, I think you're right, Thiago. I think they're the biggest. They're the biggest competitors. Don't write them off. And if Rangnick goes, he might go after this. You just don't know.
There were news on this week because PSG were knocked out of the French Cup. Pochettino is not going to stay at PSG after the end of the season. They have already contacted Zidane, but Zidane said he doesn't want to join PSG in the middle of the season because he wants the preseason work of the players. And I think United will go for Poch.
Yeah,
I mean that 100%. It's been their dream for a long time. They're gonna
go for it. I honestly say go for it. It sucks. They're gonna be able to set something nice up. It'll be really pretty. It'll be a really good team. But that was inevitable. Like with Chelsea's resources and not Chelsea's, Jesus, with United's resources and the money behind them and what they've, it's crazy that they've been out of contention for things for so long. And so I think it's only a matter of time until, and Poch teams don't materialize and start performing overnight. So we got a while.
Yeah. Speaking of penalties, that ex-Spurs player Clinton Ng missed the penalty yesterday, and Cameroon lost the semi-final of the AFCON against Egypt.
Oh no!
He missed the last
He
penalty.
was going to be the next best French winger when we signed him. The next best French winger he was going to be.
He was awesome. I mean, I watched the highlight clip. He looked great. He looked slight, but he looked awesome.
Yeah, it had to be an
audio artisan asking the real questions. What's their injury records look like? I think they're both pretty good, actually. Nothing too bad, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it's
yet, man. But
I think Kulu's. I don't think they. Well, I know. I don't think they struggle from injuries. Where Bentancur plays. A little bit like Skip and Højbjerg, they don't really get injured, do they? They will be fit for the majority of the season. So, and that again proves that they are slightly deeper. He's a slightly deeper player, maybe not the most creative we need. Kulu's very young. He's very, very young, Kulu. We've all come to the assumption that we're calling him Kulu from now on, aren't we? It is just Kulu now. Ben and Kulu. So,
look at this. Conte.
Yes. Spurs, man. I agree.
Yeah.
You're going to win something with Conte. We're going to win the FA Cup. You're going to win the FA Cup.
Here we are. And we're going to get top four in the same season.
I checked the injury history for Bentancur. He missed a few games because of coronavirus this season. Other than that, he missed 3 games. No, 1 game because of a knee problem.
I don't want players to get coronavirus on my team.
He didn't have many injuries. Very few games. Missed 7 games maximum because of injuries. And Kulusevski, he missed 2 games in Parma because of injury and 2 games for Juventus. So he has only missed 4 games because of injury, due to injury.
Fantastic.
That's great.
That is
Well,
fantastic.
we have quite a good injury record amongst our team. We don't really have an injury prone as such, do we? You know, Kane's always out for a month and Son's always out for a month, but we don't really. We're quite fortunate. We don't really have an injury prone like some teams do. Really do. Like West Ham's Antonio, got a couple in centre midfield that always get injured, but
We had a
we're
little
pretty good.
so-so,
Well, yeah. Well, now
Oh, of course,
Soso and Lamella are gone.
Even Dele Alli was remarkably fit, even though he's toxic. He was always
True.
fit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Same with Winks when he was rubbish. Ben Davis, you know, everyone was dissing them, but they were always fit. So we got quite a good team, and they add to that. No fitness issues. That's really good. That's really good.
Oh, the United YouTube channels now will be so good to watch.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. What's their main one? Oh, it's the Mark Gobridge, isn't it? Mark Gobridge, I think.
Yeah, no, Mark Bridges. Let me see if he's live. Mark Bridge.
It's brilliant, Mark Gobridge, ex-detective.
It's true. Oh, he's not live, I think.
He will be.
Oh no, he finished his stream 5 minutes ago.
Oh, literally after that penalty went over the bar.
Oh yeah,
he was done, wasn't he? He was done. He's got a brilliant story though. Ex police detective.
Everybody, yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna check him out. I don't know anything about him, but you say ex detective, and I'm automatically like, all right, this guy probably got.
When he rages, it's so funny. It's so funny because he gets mad. Like he was playing FIFA. He got mad with Weghorst because he was making a FIFA career mode, and he lost to Burnley. And Burnley had Weghorst in FIFA career mode. Now everybody's taking the piss because it's gonna happen in real life. Oh, Audio Artisan, a good one. Sessignon is very injury prone.
Oh, I don't even count him.
Yeah, wow, same.
That's how injury prone he is.
But no, it's very true. Says he's constantly injury prone. He was actually all right for Hoffenheim last season, but he's just nowhere. He's just nowhere, is he, in terms of injuries?
Yeah. If you can't depend on them to even make the bench, it's hard to even.
We're about to hit the 1 hour and a half mark. I don't know if we have much more to talk about.
Yeah, no, I kind of think that.
And otherwise, it would be only us staring at our phones, trying to find some funny United fans raging after the defeat. But
yeah, no, but just wanted to again say, Thiago, I'm informed. I think I could hold a conversation with people about our transfer window and our signings and roles they'll play and if they're gonna be good. And I don't know, Tommy, what do you think, man? You feel more I guess I could say learned on the situation?
Oh, absolutely. Especially Kulusevski. I knew a little bit about Bentancur, but I didn't really know a great deal about Kulusevski. So yeah, the visuals you put up there and the and the wording, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So that would have took me about 3 weeks to make. So the fact that you've done that in a few hours was remarkable. But no, definitely. I don't know a great deal about Kulusevski, so I really can't wait till he plays. But that's a good breakdown to get me into it, and I'm sure we'll see him at some point tomorrow.
I think he'll play. I think he'll come on as a sub in the second half, maybe even for Son. Son is just coming back from injury. Yeah. Also, but definitely. A question: Do you think there's any chance he will start for us?
There is a chance. There is a chance. I'm trying to. I think some. Again, we said this about Ramiro, with the Wolves game being so big, you'll probably risk Son in this game, to rest him against Southampton, to bring him back in for Wolves. So there are lots of variables, but I'm sure Kulusevski will come off the bench. I'm pretty sure we'll go with Lucas and Son on the wings. I would bet on that. But I would, more than Bentancur, I think we're certainly going to see Kulusevski at some point. I mean, he's a perfect sub, isn't he? Attacking players are perfect subs. Yeah. Give him 30 minutes to run around.
Yeah. Against tired legs. Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. As well. Tommy showing his dog.
Yes,
Just
thank you,
about show-
Tommy, for showing us your doggo.
He's passed out on the. Let me just show this.
Oh my God! Yes.
Man United fan. He's a Man United fan.
Oh,
Yeah, drunk in sleep in a pile of rage. What a good pup, man! My stream just went up like 50 views. I'm gonna have to put puppy in the title so that people know that there's gonna be a pup.
yeah, I'm gonna
I'll do
put Tommy's puppy in the title every single stream now, so you get views.
Yes, perfect. People are gonna be like, "Wait, what the hell? There's not even a puppy in this one, man."
Oh my God! One of the Middlesbrough goals was the most obvious handball you will ever see in your life.
Cool.
Oh my God! Did that count?
Cool. I'll take it.
It counted. Oh my God! I was just looking back. Honestly, it's Watmore. He's controlled it. He's gone like that with his hand, and then lifted it over the keeper, and the players come in and knocked it in. Oh my God! It was Maradona-esque. Honestly, it was so obvious. So obvious.
United deserve it because they get so many dodgy decisions their way. So,
Boom. Yeah, it made me feel bad for him.
But about top four, we were talking. United don't have the League Cup, don't have the FA Cup. Champions League, I think they're playing Atletico Madrid, which is very difficult. United without any other competition, but the Premier League is a big problem.
That
for us.
actually is a scary. That is kind of scary to think about. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, but still,
this was their first team. This was their first team that went out against Middlesbrough. It's not the lack of depth that's a problem. Their first team.
I still can't believe they were knocked out.
Crazy.
I thought they were going to win that easily.
I love Chris Wilder as well. I think he's old school. He doesn't mess about, does he? Bit of Sean Dyche, isn't he? He's a bit Sean Dyche.
Oh man, I'd love to see the two of them fight. They could sell tickets.
Oh, he's ex-Man United as well, isn't he? I forgot about Chris Wilder. He used to play for Man United in the Premier League. I think he used to play in the Premier League at the end of the 8. He did. He did. Yeah, that's going to mean a hell of a lot to him.
Wow. Varane, Dalot, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Pogba started, Rashford started, Fernandes, Sancho, and Ronaldo. Jesus, how didn't they win this game?
That's the strongest team. That's the strongest team they could have played easily.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Even Pogba started the game. How did it? Wow. Well, great for us.
Yeah. But all right, boys. I think I'm probably gonna have to run myself. But this has been perfect, Thiago. Thanks again for putting that all together, man. I feel like I said, way more knowledgeable just about our transfers and transfer window. And if you liked what you saw, like the goddamn channel, okay? Subscribe to the goddamn channel. And hit the bell, okay?
The like.
Crazy
the
not
share.
to. Crazy. You'd be mad not to.
You'd be a, you know what? To be frank, you'd be a freaking idiot if you didn't do that. Okay?
Yeah.
So
and you would also be a freaking idiot if you don't subscribe to Tommy's channel.
Yeah. Our wonderful friend here, he's got a channel of his own. It's kind of you could say our channel, Thiago, kind of birthed Tommy's channel. Without talking ball, there would be no Tommy Talks Ball. We kind of we were like the grandfather channel that got you started. So
absolutely,
we're glad to see you doing so well.
But seriously, it's an honor. It's an honor being on your first tactical show. Yeah, absolutely, is an honor being. And you, great job, absolutely great job.
That was all, Thiago. I'm here for comic relief. I didn't provide very much.
Oh, you've done the intro. The intro was great. The intro was great too. Chill, man.
Chill. Okay. Yes. Perfect.
But on the Monday shows, it's all you. Because it's a more chill stream. I'm not funny. I don't know how to make jokes. You do, so.
You're funny. You're a funny dude. This has been a fun stream. So everyone, tune in.
I've had fun.
These are moving to, this will be Thursday nights mostly, unless you hear differently. You can check it out. Follow us both, Thiago and I both on Instagram.
It's going to be on Thursdays now because I'm going to go into vacation, no classes for 6 weeks, and then I'm going to move out and I'm going to have more time to organize myself. So it's going to be on Thursdays.
So great. So Mondays, chatting shit Mondays, 10:30 GMT, and then, 10 p.m. GMT. 10:30? 10. Tiago, 10, 10:30? Okay, Mondays 10 GMT, and then Thursdays 10 GMT, and on Thursdays it'll be the Tactics Show. Monday chatting shit, and always a lot of fun with a lot of good people. So thanks again for for joining in. Losing my voice, and thanks again to Tiago for putting everything together. And on that, I kind of want to leave us with the same intro because it was just so sexy.